start, I want you to think about it and take a moment and write these down. That first one says, tell us your most profitable call to action. Is it buy this widget, join this club, join this team, go to this place, get this education, become my friend? What is it? And I want you to think outside of the box on this, because there are a lot of people when I say, what is your call to action, their immediate reaction is, well, I don't have anything to sell. I'm done. I can write you off. And I think, no, because if you have a kid or you have a business, you know that some of the best sales techniques in the world are used by 3-year-olds. Because they ask and they never stop asking. Am I right? Right. And sometimes the greatest tool that we have in getting a teenager to comply is the tool of persuasion. It's one thing for me to tell my daughter, you can go into this job interview and nail it. It's an entirely different thing for me to tell my 18-year-old daughter, look, you have the same gifts that I have when it comes to the gift of gab. You're as persuasive, you're better looking, you're more influential, and that way you walk in and just take over the room. But because you don't just stand there and look pretty, you have the ability to talk like I do. Use the things that you learned at Dale Carnegie at 14 years old. Use the ability that you have to communicate with people. Be articulate. Let them assume you're a dumb blonde who's pretty. And then walk in the room and wow them with intelligence, because they'll not be expecting it. And I promise you, if you'll do that, like I do when I walk in the door and I start a conversation, most of the time I get the job offer, or at least the interview before I even finish filling out the paperwork. In fact, because I don't have a college degree, half the time I'll hang on to the application until I get the interview. Because I know I can win the interview if I can get the conversation, whether I have it on my resume or not. That afternoon, she went and filled out 5 applications. She had 4 on-the-spot interviews and 2 job offers before 5 p.m. She turned down both of those job offers for a new one, who originally, I sat in the first meeting with them because I knew they were a bunch of sales guys, and they tried to sell her on a straight commission job at 18, just moving out of the house with a new house rent and all this other stuff on her own. And I told them, she's not going to do that. No straight commission for an 18-year-old. If you don't believe in your product enough to pay her a base, she needs to be selling something else. Yesterday they offered her $9 an hour plus. So, pretty good offer for an 18-year-old starting out. Without that confidence, without the ability to demonstrate for her that I've been there and I've done that, the call to action of just walk in and have the conversation would have been a moot point. Would you agree? So the call to action may not be buy this thing, sign up for here, get your contract out, write me a check. It may be, remember when you're on the radio as a dispatcher, communicate clearly. Know who you're talking to, know who's listening. And all of those other factors that play into communication are really critical and really important stuff. But it may be communicating with your kid, it may be communicating with your boss, it may be communicating with your potential client. So call to action isn't just buy this thing. Number 2, remember you have 2 minutes and 2 minutes only to tell your story. At the end of 2 minutes, people are clapping. And as soon as you're done, even if your 2 minutes is here and you're talking, and we will clap over you until you stop talking. If you finish ahead of time, we'll applaud appropriately as well. So if you're done in like 45 seconds because you're terrified, then that's fine too. And that's pretty much what it says. The timer reaches 2, we will begin to applaud. If you're finished before 2, we'll applaud appropriately. If you keep talking past 2, we'll keep applauding until you stop talking. Any questions?